on my mind, actually. That was a very enlightening speech, and I will not try to summarize what we just heard, but I am sure you are taking your thoughts away. What I will do is I will now hand over to two very important young voices. Let me say one thing, because I noted it down. You've got the translation devices. You can either leave them on your chair when you leave this room, or you pass them back to my colleagues at the door. Don't take them home. They don't serve you well, and we need them again. So, over to two very important young voices that I want to introduce to you. One is Isabell Steidel, and she will be introduced by one we consider a colleague by now. Sorry, Contimi, but that's Contimi Mouafo. You're officially with the Uni Aachen, but we consider you one of us. Since you've joined the Young Global Changers program, you're now a Young Global Changers ambassador for Africa. And while we are super astonished by the amount of multitasking you're able to do, obviously, what's truly inspiring to us is that in everything you do, in your studies, in your work with us, in your many other functions, you always aim to also change the narrative around the globe. And I think you're very, very good at this. And let's see you do your magic, and you will introduce Isabell to us. Please both come to the stage, Isabell Steidel and Contimi Mouafo. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Claudia. But before we start, I would like to briefly introduce my friend, Isabell Steidel. She's a G70 and G20 youth representative for Germany for both 2023 and 2024. So, Isabell, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here, actually. And I'm taking a lot already from the first day, where we experienced some great conversations.
Yeah. Tell us more about yourself and about your work as a youth representative.
So I started back in the local municipal council in the city of Heilbronn. It's in the south of Germany. And there, when I advocated for climate policies, I understood that we have global challenges and local challenges. But in order to be truly powerful, we need to connect those. And this is why I'm very happy that we both can have the stage today, and we can have this summit to talk about our perspectives, but to hear all these different perspectives from all over the world and to have such an interesting mix together in one place. I think this is truly special about
you. I think you were one of the youngest parliamentarians in the city of Heilbronn, is that correct?
Exactly.
Can you talk more about that? How did that come to be?
I think in the end, we as the young people, we need to have the voice. Because, of course, many times we're feeling like we lack the experience. But in the end, it's us who are most affected of the decisions we do today. So we should not make this a gap between, young people and people with more experience, but we should find intergenerational solutions together. And I think this is something that we all need to do, for example, here today, but also in our everyday life, to find more common ground with more diverse stakeholders. And this is also something I'm really happy that today and yesterday especially, there were a lot of capacity building with the Young Global Changers. Would you like to tell us more about it, Contimi?
Yes, I mean, we're talking about the summit, and I would just like to very briefly touch about my highlight for the first day of the summit yesterday, because we had a keynote speech from Dr. Ala Murabit, which to me was very inspiring. And I think one thing that I took off was the fact that young people, young organizations working on the ground, they're not asking for charity, but they're demanding partnership. I think that's very, very important, because partnership requires that the global leaders and these young leaders sit on the table, see each other as equals, and actually engage in that dialogue, right? And I think that is something that I really resonated with me, and I hope that it did resonate with the young leaders that were listening as well. So do you have any highlights for the first summit?
I love that point, because it reminds me of one session I took part, and actually a woman who is also participating here today in the audience, she told us this powerful story of how she's having all these obstacles right now, funding issues, a lot of things where you could easily say, okay, I'm giving up. But instead, she found 20 other NGOs in her space where they're all doing different work, but related to each other. And they understood that they have 5 narratives they all agree on. And now she's here today bringing these narratives to the Global Solution Summit, and her colleagues from the other 20 organizations are bringing this to other summits. And I think this is a powerful message for all of us, how even in these times that are very challenging, we need to foster collaboration even more than ever.
Yeah, the key word here is collaboration, really, because that happens when there is dialogue. And I am a young global changer. I took part in the program 3 years ago, and I've been engaging with the community up to this point. And, of course, my heart really beats for that community. Of course, yesterday we had the Young Global Changers Recoupling Awards, and it was really fascinating, as it is every year, in my opinion. But I think in the first year of the summit, there was much more than that, which I find was quite important, right? We had the opportunity as young global changers to engage with global leaders, right? We had a closed-door session with Dr. Alan Murabit, which I just mentioned. We had a closed-door session with a minister for cooperatives and for SMEs in Kenya. And I think this was really a huge opportunity for us to engage with global leaders and to exchange as equals in this case. But the question is, how do we take these mindset, right? How do we take this mindset and ensure that as we go into the second day, that we can make sure that the young people all are represented in the dialogues that happen throughout the summit? Any ideas?
I think it's 2 things we should keep in mind. So for all the young people here around us, please speak up. Please raise your voice today. It's equally important as yesterday. Don't be shy and be courageous, because you have your opinion based on facts and on your experience, and it's not worth less than of anyone else. And please, to you world leaders around here who are here with us today, please hear us out. Please include our perspectives, and please make us create solutions together.
Yeah.
I think this is the true power that the summit has.
Absolutely. And the fact that we are here today, of course, in this opening address, it's really a huge opportunity. So thank you to the Global Solution Initiative and for giving us this platform. But do you have any points, any topics that in your opinion have not been addressed enough in the summit so far or need to be further addressed?
I particularly, as I'm also right now focusing on my startup with AI and recycling, we want to enhance recycling, make it to reduce the barriers and to make it more intuitive. I see the progress of AI, and I see how fast it is. And I think we as a society, we need to react to it, because we have, on the one hand, the existential threat that may come with it, and we need to do the alignment absolutely right. And this is something that is, in my bubble, not really well presented. And on the other hand, there are people like Bill Gates, who was a guest last year, and he just quoted that he thinks in 10 years we will have 2 working days per week, because AI will do the rest of our work. And we can just leave the statement as it is. I know many people think it's very controversial, but we need to talk as a society about it, what consequences it has, and what we as a society want to do. So I think it's very important that we have also this special track, and I'm very curious to hear more about it today.
Absolutely.
How about you?
Well, I mean, I'm Cameroonian and I'm African, so for me it has to be the South African G20 presidency that's coming up. And I think it's the first time that an African country is going to be leading the G20, and I think that's really important. That's a massive milestone, and I'm interested in seeing how the country, or an African country, in this case South Africa, can actually use this opportunity to create like a framework where the global dialogue that happens on the global stage, where Africa really positions itself, or South Africa positions itself in a way that its interests, its priorities have at least the same level of importance and relevance as the interests and priorities of the other Western nations. I think that's really, really important, changing the dynamics when having that kind of discourse. So I feel like there needs to be more discussions about this, and I'm hoping to hear more about it. But I think there is a session on this this afternoon, so I think that we're gonna definitely have the chance to look at that. So I'm really looking forward to that. Any last words? Anything you want to give to the audience before we head into the summit? I'm pretty sure they're already waiting and ready to go.
Just please foster the collaborations more than ever. I think this is benefiting all of us. And take the time for the personal space, but also make it institutionalized. Let us, as institutions, work closely together. I think, especially in these demanding times, we need it, we all need it, and I think this is my take. What's yours?
Well, I mean, my take has to be about intergenerational dialogue, right? So please, the global leaders in the room, those that are sitting in positions of power, let's talk more with the young people. Let's talk more with the people that are engaged on the ground, with the people that are actually, solving the solutions that we talk about at a high level, but are solving these every day. So I think we should try or strive to have much more of that. And with that being said, I want to say thank you very much. Thank you, Isabell, for this lovely chat. And thank you for giving us the platform. And I want to say, enjoy the summit, and hopefully you can take some of these points and dissect them further during the summit. So thank you very much, and have a great summit. Thank you.
Dankeschön.
Thanks.
War toll.
Vielen Dank.
Sherpa-Panel an.